Most men spend their lives asking the wrong question. They ask, how do I attract her? How do I make her stay? How do I become the man women want? But the real question is far more uncomfortable. Why do some men never try, yet women choose them anyway? These men don't chase. They don't beg for attention. They don't explain themselves endlessly. And still, women feel drawn to them. Not because they are manipulative. Not because they are cold. But because they carry something rare. Something women feel before they understand. In this video, we won't talk about tricks, lines, or strategies. We'll talk about the quiet traits women respond to instinctively. The kind no one teaches. The kind most men only learn after losing the woman they loved. If you're ready to hear the truth most men avoid, stay with me. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where we will learn, explore, and share valuable lessons about love. In today's video, I will reveal to you, men's secrets, what kind of man do women really desire, a new perspective, helping you better understand the factors that determine a happy and sustainable relationship. Let's explore with me the secrets to building a strong and meaningful love. Before we start, find a quiet place, put on your headphones and relax. Let all your worries melt away, and let the messages in this video help you calm down and feel the most complete. Are you ready? Let's start now. Part 1, the illusion most men believe. Most men are chasing the wrong woman with the wrong tools. They believe women crave loud confidence, constant attention, expensive gestures, or endless emotional reassurance. They think attraction is built by doing more, talking more, texting more, proving more, pleasing more. That belief ruins men. Because the truth is uncomfortable. Women are not attracted to effort. They are attracted to inner stability. I didn't learn this from books. I learned it by losing women I loved, by being the good man who tried too hard, and later, by becoming the man who no longer needed to try. Here is the first secret most men never hear. A woman does not fall for what you give her. She falls for what she feels when she is around you. And feelings are not created by words. They are created by presence. Women don't crave men. They crave a state. A woman is not searching for a man. She is searching for a state of being, a place where her nervous system can rest. Life pulls her in 1,000 directions. Social expectations. Emotional labor. Uncertainty. Fear of choosing wrong. So when she meets a man, her body asks one silent question. Do I feel safe here, not physically, but emotionally? Not safe as in weak or agreeable. Safe as in anchored. A man who is not desperate to be liked. A man who does not chase approval. A man who does not collapse when things are uncertain. That is where Stoic love begins. The masculine calm women feel before they understand. Here is something men rarely understand. Women sense your emotional posture before they understand your words. You can say all the right things and still feel wrong. You can say very little and feel unforgettable. Why? Because attraction lives below logic. A Stoic man does not rush. He does not explain himself excessively. He does not try to control outcomes. He is present, grounded, unreactive. And that calm creates tension, not boredom, but polarity. Why neediness repels, even when you're kind? Let me be direct. Neediness is not about asking for affection. It is about needing validation to feel whole. A needy man needs replies to feel secure. Needs reassurance to feel valued. Needs consistency from her to feel calm. That emotional hunger feels heavy to a woman, even if she can't explain why. Not because she is cruel. But because she wants a partner, not a responsibility. Stoic love teaches this harsh truth. The moment you need a woman to complete you, she instinctively begins to pull away. Not consciously. Biologically. The man who is chosen is already full. The man women truly crave is not empty. He has a life. A direction. A code he follows even when no one is watching. He enjoys her presence, but does not depend on it. He desires her, but is not controlled by desire. This creates a paradox that attracts deeply. He can walk away. Therefore his staying has value. Stoicism is not emotional coldness. It is emotional self-sufficiency. And self-sufficiency is magnetic. Silence is not a strategy. It's a byproduct of strength. Many men misunderstand silence. They try to use it as a tactic. That never works. Real silence comes from inner certainty. A man who knows who he is does not rush to fill space. He allows pauses. He allows mystery. Not to manipulate, but because he doesn't need to perform. Women feel that restraint. It signals confidence without arrogance. Control without dominance. Interest without obsession. This is Stoic masculinity. Why emotional discipline is more attractive than passion. Movies lie. They sell chaos as romance. Intensity as love. Drama as depth. In reality, women fall hardest for men who are emotionally disciplined. Not emotionless, disciplined. A man who feels deeply but reacts slowly. Who listens without fixing. Who stays centered when she is emotional. That man becomes her emotional anchor. And here is a truth few men accept. The woman who feels safe enough to open emotionally will eventually feel desire. Safety comes first. Desire follows. The first real secret. So let me give you the first real secret plainly. Women crave men who are internally complete. Not perfect. Not dominant. Not rich or flashy. Complete. A man who is not trying to be chosen. Because he has already chosen himself. That energy cannot be faked. It must be built. And that is what the next parts will show. Love, like a mirror that reflects ourselves. When you learn to love, you are also learning to look back at yourself. What are your strengths? What are the wounds that need to be healed? And understanding yourself will help you understand the other person more deeply. That is also the reason I share on this channel, to help you see love as a journey to nurture your soul. If you find these things meaningful, click like to spread that value. And if this is your first time coming to the channel, don't forget to click subscribe with the notification bell, so we can always accompany each other in the next lessons. Leave a comment below, share your true feelings after listening to this part. Who knows, your little story may touch the heart of someone in need. Now, let's continue on the next part of this journey. Part 2, the kind of unpredictability women desire. Most men misunderstand unpredictability. They think it means being inconsistent. Hot today, cold tomorrow. Present one moment, disappearing the next. That is not unpredictability. That is emotional chaos. And chaos may attract briefly, but it never holds. What women truly respond to is emotional depth combined with emotional control. That combination is rare. And rarity is attractive. Why predictability kills desire? Let's be honest. When a woman knows exactly how you will react to everything. When your approval is guaranteed. Your availability unlimited. Your emotions always on display. Something dies. Not because she doesn't care. But because desire needs tension. And tension cannot exist where everything is already given. Stoic men understand this instinctively. They are not rigid. They are contained. Their emotions exist, but they are not leaking everywhere. The difference between mystery and manipulation. Here is where many men go wrong. They try to manufacture mystery. They withhold texts. They delay replies. They act indifferent. Women feel that immediately. Why? Because fake mystery smells like insecurity wearing a costume. Real mystery comes from a man who is busy becoming himself. He is not hiding. He is simply not centered around her reactions. That creates a subtle unpredictability. She doesn't know exactly what he's thinking. She doesn't know if he will stay or walk away. She knows he is interested, but not dependent. That balance creates curiosity. And curiosity is the doorway to desire. Why emotional control feels masculine. A woman watches how a man handles emotional pressure. Not in tests, in moments. How does he respond when plans change? When she is emotional? When silence appears? Most men react. They chase clarity. They seek reassurance. They fill space with words. A Stoic man does something else. He observes. He allows uncertainty to exist without panic. This does something powerful inside a woman. It tells her, if I fall apart, he won't. That is not dominance. That is leadership. And leadership is deeply attractive. Intensity without volatility. Here is an important truth. Women want intensity. They just don't want volatility. They want a man who can feel deeply without losing control. A man who desires strongly but chooses carefully. Who can be passionate without being impulsive. Stoic love is not cold. It is contained fire. And contained fire warms. Wild fire destroys. Why over-explaining weakens attraction? Men who lack inner certainty explain too much. They justify their feelings. They clarify intentions prematurely. They narrate their emotions as if seeking permission. A woman does not need explanations. She needs to feel grounded energy. Silence, when it comes from confidence, speaks louder than reassurance. Not because silence is a trick, but because it shows trust in oneself. The power of delayed reaction. One of the most overlooked masculine traits is restraint. The ability to pause. Not react immediately. Not defend instantly. Not pursue clarity desperately. That pause creates space. And space creates gravity. Women are drawn to men who don't rush emotionally. Because rushing signals fear of loss. A man who can wait shows abundance. Not of women. Of self. Why women test, and why tests are invitations. Women test men emotionally. Not consciously. Not maliciously. They do it to feel stability. A test is not a challenge to be beaten. It is an invitation to demonstrate emotional leadership. Do you stay calm? Do you remain centered? Do you respond, not react? Most men fail because they take tests personally. A Stoic man understands. The test is not about me. It's about safety. And when a woman feels safe with a man's emotional strength, she opens. The second real secret. Here is the second secret most men never hear. Women crave emotional depth they do not have to manage. They want a man who can feel. Without asking her to hold him together. That is unpredictability done right. Not chaos. Not games. But depth wrapped in discipline. Part 3, Why a man's willingness to lose her is what makes her stay. There is a truth most men are not ready to hear. The man who is afraid to lose a woman has already lost her, energetically. Not because she plans to leave, but because fear shifts the balance. And women feel balance long before they feel betrayal. Attachment is not love. It is fear wearing romance. Let's separate two things men often confuse. Love. Attachment. Love says, I choose you. Attachment says, I need you. A woman can feel the difference instantly. When a man becomes emotionally attached, he changes. His tone softens too much. His boundaries blur. His decisions begin to orbit her mood. He stops leading his own life and starts managing the relationship. That shift is subtle, but fatal to attraction. Why detachment creates safety, not distance. Men hear the word detachment and think it means coldness. It doesn't. Detachment means your sense of self does not depend on her response. You can care deeply without collapsing emotionally. You can love without gripping. To a woman, that feels like safety. Why? Because she knows. If I pull back, he won't chase desperately. If I step forward, he'll meet me, not smother me. That freedom invites closeness. Pressure kills it. The paradox, the man who can walk away is trusted more. Here is the paradox no dating advice likes to admit. A man who could leave is trusted more than a man who would never. Why? Because choice matters. When a man stays out of fear, his presence has no weight. When a man stays out of choice, his presence feels earned. Stoic men understand this instinctively. They don't threaten to leave. They don't announce independence. They simply live as men who are not trapped. And that energy is unmistakable. Why chasing reassurance pushes her away? When uncertainty appears, most men panic. They seek clarity. They ask questions. They want reassurance. But reassurance seeking communicates one thing. I don't trust myself to handle loss. A woman may offer reassurance. But attraction weakens every time she does. Not because she is cruel, but because she begins to feel responsible for your emotional stability. That responsibility slowly turns into pressure. And pressure suffocates desire. Stoic love means standing firm in uncertainty. Stoic men do not rush uncertainty away. They allow silence. They allow space. They allow time. Not as a tactic, as strength. They understand this truth. If something is real, it doesn't need to be chased. If it leaves, it was never yours to hold. That mindset changes everything. Your voice becomes calmer. Your actions become cleaner. Your presence becomes heavier. Women feel that gravity. Why emotional independence feels like leadership. Leadership is not about control. It's about direction. A man who is emotionally independent makes decisions without guilt, sets boundaries without anger, accepts outcomes without resentment. That stability allows a woman to relax into her feminine nature. She doesn't have to guide. She doesn't have to regulate. She doesn't have to worry about hurting you. Freedom creates attraction. The quiet confidence women lean toward. There is a specific kind of confidence women lean into. Not loud. Not performative. Quiet. It shows up when a man says less, but means more. When he doesn't negotiate his worth. When he doesn't explain his boundaries. When he doesn't beg to be chosen. He is open, but not exposed. Warm, but not needy. That balance is rare. And rarity creates desire. Loss is not the enemy, fear is. Here is the hardest lesson I learned too late. Loss does not destroy men. Fear does. Fear of abandonment. Fear of loneliness. Fear of starting over. A Stoic man makes peace with loss. Not because he wants it, but because he knows he will survive it. That acceptance removes desperation. And desperation is the real killer of attraction. The third real secret. So here is the third secret, spoken plainly. Women stay with men who do not cling. Not because they don't care, but because they care without fear. A man who can lose her is a man she feels safe staying with. Love is a great lesson in maturity. It challenges us with fragility, teaches us patience through waiting, and gives us strength after being hurt. Here, I don't just tell stories for you to listen to, but for you to reflect on yourself and find your own lessons. If you find it valuable, please click like and subscribe, so you don't miss out on the shares that can change the way you look at love. Now, get ready with me, because the rest will have a lot more depth waiting for you. Part 4, Why Women Crave Emotional Honesty, but only from strong men. Men are constantly told to open up. Be vulnerable. Share your feelings. Express your emotions. Most men try this, and are confused when attraction fades. They conclude. Women say they want honesty, but they don't. That conclusion is wrong. The truth is more precise, and more uncomfortable. Women want emotional honesty from men who can carry it without falling apart. Vulnerability without stability is a burden. Let's be clear. Emotional honesty is not emotional dumping. A man who unloads his fears, insecurities, wounds, and confusion without inner stability does not create intimacy. He creates responsibility. A woman may listen. She may care. But something shifts inside her. She stops feeling polarity and starts feeling obligation. Desire does not survive obligation. The difference between strength and suppression. Stoic men are often misunderstood. People think stoicism means suppressing emotion. It doesn't. It means mastery. A Stoic man feels deeply. But he does not drown in what he feels. He can say, I was hurt. I felt disappointed. That mattered to me. Without asking her to fix it. Without seeking rescue. Without collapsing into it. That is emotional honesty done right. Why women pull away when men open up too early. Timing matters. Depth without foundation feels unsafe. When a man reveals too much too soon, it signals lack of emotional regulation. Desire for connection without grounding. Fear of being alone. A woman may interpret this as sincerity. But her attraction system reads it as instability. Stoic love teaches patience. Depth is revealed gradually. Not because you are hiding. But because trust is built, not rushed. Masculine vulnerability is rooted in responsibility. True vulnerability carries responsibility. A Stoic man owns his emotions. He does not blame. He does not dramatize. He does not use feelings as leverage. He might say, I care about you. If this doesn't work, I'll be disappointed, but I'll be okay. That sentence alone contains immense strength. It tells her, you matter. But you are not my emotional lifeline. That balance creates safety and desire. Why women want emotional truth, not emotional dependence. A woman wants to know where she stands. But she does not want to be the center holding you together. She wants honesty without pressure. Truth without weight. Depth without chaos. A man who can share his inner world while remaining grounded becomes a place she can lean into. Not because she needs him, but because she trusts him. The calm expression of desire. Here is something few men realize. How you express desire matters more than desire itself. A needy man says, "I need you. Don't leave." A grounded man says, "I enjoy choosing you." One creates pressure. The other creates value. Stoic men do not dramatize desire. They let it be known. Calmly, clearly, without urgency. That confidence is intoxicating. Why emotional honesty requires a spine. Without boundaries, honesty turns into leakage. A stoic man has a spine. He knows what he will tolerate. He knows what he will walk away from. He knows when to speak, and when silence is more honest. Women respect men with spines. Not because they are rigid, but because they are self-respecting. And self-respect is attractive. Intimacy is not built by exposure alone. Many men think intimacy equals exposure. It doesn't. Intimacy is built by consistency between words and behavior. When a man says he cares, and his actions reflect it calmly. When he expresses emotion, and remains stable afterward. When he opens up, and does not expect reassurance in return. That is when trust forms. And trust is the gateway to deep desire. The fourth real secret. Here is the fourth secret, stated simply. Women crave emotional honesty from men who do not collapse under it. They want truth. But they want truth anchored in strength. A man who can reveal himself, without losing himself, becomes unforgettable. Part 5, the men women choose long-term, and why they rarely try. There is a certain type of man women end up with. Not always the most exciting. Not the loudest. Not the one who chased the hardest. But the one they rest with. These men don't dominate rooms. They don't perform masculinity. They don't build attraction intentionally. And that is precisely why they are chosen. They are oriented toward something bigger than her. A woman watches one thing more than men realize. What does this man move toward when no one is watching? Men who are deeply attractive long-term are oriented toward a craft, a mission, a code, a life direction. Not toward her reactions. She may be important. But she is not the axis of his identity. This creates quiet respect. Because she knows. If I disappear tomorrow, he will grieve. But he will not collapse. That is strength. They don't negotiate their values for connection. These men do not bend themselves into shapes to be accepted. They don't argue their boundaries. They don't explain their standards. They don't threaten consequences. They simply live in alignment. If something violates their values, they step back, calmly. No anger. No speeches. No ultimatums. Women trust this kind of man. Because consistency signals integrity. And integrity signals safety. They are emotionally available, not emotionally dependent. This is the balance most men never find. Emotionally available means present, attentive, honest. Emotionally dependent means needing validation, seeking reassurance, fearful of loss. The men women choose long-term are available, but not needy. They can sit with emotion without drowning in it. They can love without clinging. They can disagree without withdrawing. That emotional maturity becomes more attractive with time, not less. They don't chase chemistry, they create stability. Chemistry is exciting. But it burns fast. Stability endures. A woman may chase chemistry in her youth. But she chooses stability with awareness. Stability does not mean boring. It means predictable character, unpredictable depth, Reliable presence. These men don't create drama to feel alive. They bring calm that allows depth to grow. And depth sustains desire. They are comfortable with silence. Silence reveals everything. Men who fear silence rush to fill it. Men who trust themselves let it breathe. Women lean toward men who are comfortable in quiet moments. Why? Because silence exposes insecurity. And these men have nothing to hide. Their calm is not an act. It is a byproduct of inner order. They don't try to be irreplaceable. This may surprise you. The most irreplaceable men never try to be. They don't promise forever. They don't bind with fear. They don't create dependency. They offer presence. And paradoxically, that freedom creates attachment. Because choice is more powerful than obligation. They accept love without losing themselves. When love deepens, many men disappear into the relationship. These men don't. They remain disciplined, grounded, self-directed. Love enhances them, it doesn't consume them. And a woman feels proud standing beside such a man. Not because he needs her, but because he chooses her, daily. They understand this final truth. Here is the final truth, earned slowly. Women do not choose men who try to win them. They choose men who are already whole. Attraction is not built by persuasion. It is revealed by presence. And presence comes from inner alignment. The final secret. So here it is, the final secret of Stoic love. Women crave men who are at peace with themselves. Men who don't rush. Men who don't chase. Men who don't fear loss. Because peace is contagious. And in a chaotic world, the man who carries peace becomes irresistible. Conclusion. In the end, attraction is not something you build with techniques. It is something you reveal by who you become. Women do not fall for words, promises, or effort alone. They respond to presence, the quiet strength of a man who is at ease with himself. A man who does not rush connection. A man who does not fear silence. A man who does not cling when uncertainty appears. This kind of man does not try to be chosen. He lives in alignment, and attraction forms naturally around him. Stoic love is not about emotional distance. It is about emotional sovereignty. It teaches a man to feel deeply without losing control. To care without dependence. To love without fear. And paradoxically, that is what creates the deepest bonds. Women are drawn to men who are internally complete. Not because they are perfect, but because they are grounded. Grounded men do not seek validation. They offer direction. They do not negotiate their worth. They embody it. In a world full of noise, anxiety, and emotional excess, the man who carries calm becomes rare. And rarity attracts. So if there is one truth to remember, it is this. Become the man who would be okay even if love did not arrive. And love will recognize you. Not because you chased it, but because you were ready to carry it. That is the real secret of men women truly desire. So today's video has ended. Thank you for taking the time to watch it all. I hope you have learned valuable lessons and these shares will help you on your love journey. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to receive more interesting content in the future. I'm very grateful for your support and see you again in the next videos. Wishing you all love and happiness.